For the last few weeks, all I've been seeing across my YouTube feed is this doom and gloom headline: 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs. Now, I'm already one who doesn't necessarily watch traditional news because I can't do negative news on repeat. And because of that, I hate the fact that a lot of these different news reports are just ending with, yeah, that's really sad and really bad. I like to know, well, what do we do next? What's the action that we finna take? So in this video, I'm going to give you 3 things that the 300,000 plus Black women who have lost their jobs since earlier in 2025 can do to pivot into what's next. I'm Denise Renee, author, writing coach, and your business book bestie. I can help you write a high-quality thought leadership book that grows your personal or business brand. This video is one piece of that puzzle, so let's jump in. Now, the first thing I want to say, are we surprised, 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 surprised? No, we're not. And if there's one thing a Black woman's going to do, she is going to be resilient. And I know that on the surface, this looks really, really bad, especially if you are a Black woman who's a Gen X, 45 years and up. I'm 51. And if you even happen to be a boomer who maybe you left the workforce to retire, but then came back. And now you're being ejected from the workforce again. Now, earlier this year, I had 2 jobs. Now I'm down to 1. I will say that one of them was a contract position, so it wasn't technically a job. However, that contract position definitely followed some trends. Okay. Meanwhile, I am building my business and my brand alongside of what I'm doing to heap healthcare and a roof over my head, right? So the things that I am recommending and suggesting in this video are things that I'm doing or have done because I know at any second it could be me too. So the first thing that us resilient Black women could and should do, and we are probably already doing, we should pause, pray, and find our peace. Okay? Pause, pray, and find our peace. That's 3 in step number 1. Pause, right? We are so used to going because we have to. We have the weight of our families on our shoulders. And even if we happen to be a single woman who may have been doing like a little bit better for herself, we probably are like the backup plan for some of our family members who needs a couple $100 here, $1,000 there. And now you may not be in that position anymore. And it's okay. So pause, pray, seek spiritual guidance. Now, I personally seek guidance from God is, right? Okay. If you know that song, then you know. But this is the perfect time to reset your spiritual practices and find your peace. If there's any group of people on the planet who have made a way, who have figured things out, it's Black people, and it's Black women in particular. So take this time to think about, what do you really want to do next? And be intentional about pursuing it. Because obviously, if we've been giving so much to jobs that could care less about us and are quick to just let us go, despite us having probably more degrees than our superiors at times, then it's time to prioritize ourselves. It's time to prioritize our peace. Before we go into the next phase, we don't want to do it like hustling, scraping, and scrapping. We want to do so from a place of peace, a place of guidance. So even if what you think is what's next is scary, do it. Money is tough, but money is figure outable. The money to do what you want to do right now may not magically appear, but it may begin to appear. Provision begins to appear as you take steps towards what you really want to do. I'll confess, if I had different circumstances in my life, I would be a travel vlogger right now, okay? I would be traveling around the world and creating content around my travels, in addition to writing my books and coaching people through their book writing process. Do you want to travel? Have you been thinking about starting a business? Have you had 1 or 2 or 3 side hustles that you're like, hey, you know what? Let me see what I can do with this. Now's that time. Have you been eyeballing going into a completely different field? Now's the time. And you may not even necessarily need to go back to school and get a whole degree, because right about now, those degrees don't seem to be mattering much. It's really more so about your ability to get in there, get your hands dirty, do the job, and do the jobs that AI can't do. So lots to think about, and then create a plan and get started. Now, the second thing that I think the 300,000 Black women who were recently let go from their jobs since the beginning of 2025 should do is lean lean into community. Now, I know our culture has become one where, in the last 50 or so years, we don't live in the same communities anymore. We get our education, we go pursuing jobs in different cities, different states, sometimes even different countries, and we've become more separated. To connect with family, we have to get on a flight or drive 8 or so hours. But your community is not only those who are in close proximity to you. It doesn't only include your family members. It could even include your online community. I mean, a week or two ago, I was lamenting to a group of women that I network with about some challenges that I was having. And then they just like rallied around and were like, okay, we're going to help you accomplish this one particular goal. So leaning into community means you're going to have to start sharing some more. Okay. You're going to have to let people know what's going on and what you need. Yes, you got to let people know your business. All right. Now, they don't have to know everything, but you have to let them know something. Back in 2023, when I was transitioning out of doing ride sharing and I wanted a work from home job, I told everybody. And the one job that I still have now, and then the subsequent contract position that I got, they came through my personal network. They came through people that I know saying, hey, this person works here and they said that they're hiring. Hey, I work here and they're still hiring. So you never know what's going on at somebody else's job. You never know who they know. So put pride aside and lean into community, lean into your networks. At this point in time, it's not even a point of shame. We already know, and it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to take the bull by the horns and determine what's next in your life, in your career, your business. So especially if you decide that one of the things you're going to do is start your business or take your side hustle up to the next level, you definitely need to lean into your community to get them to help you raise awareness of what you're doing. If you have people with media connections, baby, tap in, okay? Tap in. And the third thing that I think that the 300,000 Black women who recently lost their jobs should do next is to package your knowledge so that now you become a speaker and or a consultant. Listen, honey, you have been slaving away, okay, for however long you were slaving away for those folks at that job. You have so much experience. You have so much knowledge. There's no reason to put it to waste. Even though they let go your position, that doesn't mean that they no longer have need of you. And it doesn't mean that they no longer have need of your skills. They do. They're just going to be looking for it in different ways. While companies are quick to lay off workforces, right behind that, they're very often hiring consultants and companies that specialize in outsourcing because they're looking to reduce their overhead. And as an employee, we are a company's biggest expense. Not only are they paying our salary, but they're also paying for the benefits. So contractors, consultants, that really severely reduces their overhead. And when they're ready to kind of move on and pivot, they can let them go with a quickness. So while being a contractor or a consultant can be a little bit volatile, at least it can get you money right now. Okay. So while the company you worked for or the government agency that you worked for said, nah, fam, you got to go right now, I promise you there are 3, 4, or 5 other companies who need the skills that you have. You just have to package those skills up, make sure you look like the expert you are, and get on their radar. And one of the best ways to package your skills, you know what I'm about to say, is to write a book. That's right. Listen, I am your business book bestie, and I see the world through book framed glasses. Okay. I think a book is the answer to the visibility challenge that sometimes women have. It's a cheat code. It's a shortcut. And it isn't so much about selling millions of copies of your book. It's really about writing the right book for the right audience and getting in front of the right decision makers that makes all the difference. People who author books, they get booked for speaking gigs. What are some conferences that are in the industry that you're in that you could get on the stage? Can you imagine getting in front of the stage in front of the bosses that just fired you? And at the end of that presentation, having 2 or 3 representatives from some other companies saying, hey, we really need what you have. We need you to come in and consult. Hello. Okay. Now, I specialize in helping professionals just like you package their knowledge, their skills, and their unique frame of reference into books that then they use to help leverage for speaking engagements, for media opportunities, for launching consulting practices, for launching coaching practices, and other types of product or service-based businesses. So that's something you've always wanted to do, but you don't know how to get started. I encourage you to get my 4 steps to start writing your book program. Get a hold of it at writingwithdeniserenee.com/4 steps. The link is down in the description as well. It's going to walk you through the process of making sure you are creating the right book for the right audience right now. Can you imagine how many people are going to start wanting to follow your LinkedIn profile because now you have author in the title? But hey, maybe you're not convinced that you should write a book. So watch this video next, where I break down why Gen X professionals should be writing books in 2025. I'll see you on the other side.